This is Inside Arkansas. We're traveling the state of Arkansas to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the people, places, and adventures that make the natural state so unique. We're here in Eureka Springs, a beautiful little town in the Ozarks known for food, shopping, and Victorian architecture, but it's also known for its haunted history. We're gonna go behind the scenes, hear from some locals, and find out what all the talk is about. I'm a little scared, but let's do this. I'm here with Steve Arnold, who's the proprietor of Haunted Eureka Springs. Where are we, Steve?
We are in the famous underground Eureka Springs catacomb.
Tell me a little about the haunted history of this town.
Well, in spite of our town being so beautiful and Victorian looking, we have a really dark history. We had hundreds of people dropping dead every month in town. Tens of thousands of people came here for the healing water. Some people were miraculously cured, but a lot of people weren't.
And what about these tunnels in particular?
The Crescent Hotel had his Dr. Baker up there and would need to dispose of the bodies after they died. And allegedly some of those dead bodies were ushered through the tunnel into the funeral home and beyond. A lot of our tourists have experienced things and felt things or caught things on camera.
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome, Steve, and super spooky. Let's go see what the rest of Haunted Eureka Springs has to offer. We're here at the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs. It's known to be America's most haunted hotel. And I'm here with Belladonna. She's one of the ghost tour guides here at the hotel, and she's gonna tell us a little about the history of this place.
The hotel first opened in 1886. We were considered the most luxurious establishment west of the Mississippi. And for the first 15 years here, it was by invitation only. Now, a little while after that, we became a women's college for 25 years, just during the school months of the year. Now, unfortunately, in the late 30s, this place became a fraudulent cancer hospital that lasted only 22 months, and it went into great disrepair during the Great Depression, but it was purchased in 1997 by Marty and Ellis Rennick, and they have restored it to the glory you guys can see here today. So this is 212. This used to be Dr. Ellis's office, and he was not part of the cancer hospital. He was a Victorian doctor. People have been known to smell the fragrance of his sweet cherry pipe tobacco here in the hotel. This is a haunting I've actually experienced for myself on a couple of occasions, which is pretty exciting.
Really awesome.
Now, people have been known to see the apparition of Dr. Ellis appear here in the hallway, but when he shows up, for whatever reason, he no longer has legs. He's just the upper half of his body. So people say that the elevator door will open, a gentleman without legs will come floating out, he'll float into the door of his old office, and then later, when he's done, he comes floating back out, gets right back onto the elevator.
Oh, it's giving me chills.
Well, let me tell you about the next one.
Okay.
So this is 218. It is known as Michael's room, and it is our most paranormal active room in the building. Michael was a 17-year-old Irish stonemason building the hotel here in the 1880s. Now, he was standing at the top of the structure when he noticed a beautiful young woman walk onto the grounds, and in the attempt to get her attention, he slipped and fell through the building, landing on a beam that is now part of room 218. Now, this room is haunted by Michael, who is known as a poltergeist, which is a scary word meaning a spirit responsible for causing mischief. So people have been known to have the lights flipped on and off on them in here completely at random. He knocks on the headboard while you're in the bed trying to sleep. He plays with all the drawers in the rooms. Well, this room is most active when ladies are present because Michael loves the ladies.
Oh, Michael's a flirty ghost.
Well, there's more. Outside on the third floor balcony, people have seen the apparition of a young woman in a white dress. She stands there for just a moment, then she goes falling over the railing and lands in the garden. So right now we are in the basement of the Crescent Hotel in the morgue. And of course the morgue is here because of the cancer hospital. And all the things you see behind us here, these are actual artifacts from the late 1930s. We had thought all these things had been thrown away many years ago, but turns out they were all buried in the backyard. We found them by accident in February of 2019.
That's awesome and very scary. They look terrifying.
So this spot is known as the meat locker. And it's because originally the kitchen did use this space to store large cuts of meat with large blocks of ice. But of course, during the cancer hospital days, this is where they were keeping the bodies. They were in here on metal tables with large blocks of ice around the room. They only stayed down here long enough to have their autopsy performed, and then the local mortuary would come to pick them up.
All right, I'm finished for the day. I've checked into my room, which is apparently one of the haunted ones. So we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully I don't get too scared, but I'm gonna check back in with you all. Last night, I survived my first ever ghost tour. It was a really cool experience, totally fascinating, and even a little bit scary. And whether you believe in ghosts or not, it's really worth checking out. I did it, and you can too. So be sure to follow us on our channel for more adventures here in the natural state.